Guys, welcome back to the Mind Muscle Connection podcast. And today it's a extra bonus episode and I'm dropping a big update here. So I'm officially opening spots for the Performance Recomp Method. So this is my high touch one-on-one coaching program. And this is based off of years of diving into the human body, human physiology, fat loss, muscle gain, body composition, weight training, muscle building, having guests on, working with clients and with myself. And so this is designed specifically for those of you who want to improve your body composition, build muscle, drop body fat, and optimize your performance and health. And again, when I say performance, we're talking in the gym and outside of the gym, right? So whether you want to improve your performance in your training, with your cardio, your conditioning, work, your life, whatever it may be, that's what our goal is going to be there. And the thing here is we're going to make sure you do this without having to live in the gym and obsess over every last little detail of everything. Again, we can dive into it as much as you want, but the key here is to make sure that you don't feel like you have to do every last little bit. And this isn't like most coaching programs out there, again, where I'm just going to give you a calorie target, set of macros, and a 5-day training split, and then boom, you're off and running, and that's where we're going to end, right? Because again, if that was enough, you'd probably already be where you'd want to be. The truth is body composition changes. Real body composition changes require more than just tracking your food and lifting weights. Again, that is super important. That's a big part of what we do, but it requires a system that supports your physiology, your lifestyle, and your overall recovery capacity and what you can put into it. And so that's what this program is built around. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the 3 big outcomes that you can expect and the 5-pillar system that I use to help you get there. And then what you also get with the coaching, with the program. So the 3 tangible outcomes. So again, when you join the Performance Recomp Method, again, my high touch one-on-one coaching program, one, you're going to get a physique and a body comp that shows your hard work. Okay. This is going to be, we're going to focus specifically on your body composition. We're going to have our inputs that are going to lead to better body composition. It's going to be a look that reflects how hard you train without chasing extremes, right? Again, we pay attention to scale weight, but we're not only focused on scale weight. Body comp is really what drives change and what drives that change in your physique. And again, this is going to require a system-wide approach here, right? It's not just lifting more and lowering your caloric intake. Again, it's very strategic to what you need specifically. I'm going to dive into how we get you to this point, but just understand that you're going to leave this program with a physique that shows your hard work. I've had many clients tell me, specifically my client Becky, tell me that she'd been working out for years and she didn't really see the changes she wanted to see until she started working in my program. And once she started applying not only just the training and the nutrition, again, for her, nutrition was a big piece, but also the lifestyle side of things too, and optimizing that, did she really finally see the change in the mirror that she wanted to see? Again, we're not talking just scale weight change here. We're talking actual change in the mirror. Second, performance that you can actually feel. So you're going to feel stronger in the gym. You're going to perform better, and your conditioning, you're going to perform better. Doing that conditioning is going to help you perform better in life. That training, the weight training in the gym is going to help you perform better in life. So again, that energy is going to carry over to your work, your training, and just your life, right? You're going to have better stress resilience. You're going to be able to handle life stressors much more easily than in the past. So again, you can perform better at work and training, life, or maybe you like to play rec sports. You're in a rec sports league, you like to play pickleball, you're a big golfer. If you're like myself, you like to play hockey, right? Again, my client Carolyn, she told me how big of a difference she saw in not only her running outside of the gym, but also just her performance in the gym and how that also carried over into work, life, and everything like that. And then lastly, the third kind of outcome that we're aiming for is how you feel and your overall health. Okay. So again, things like sleep, digestion, libido, mood, stress, your blood markers, we all want those moving in the right direction and we pay attention to those, right? When these are in check, you feel good in and out of the gym. Without a healthy body, you're never going to see the change you want. This is where I feel like these last 2 pillars is the last 2 outcomes is where most programs do not hit on, right? It's just, hey, we're just going to get you to look better. And by missing out on these last 2, you don't fully see the change. Plus, if we don't have that, if we're not in a healthy spot overall, just any body composition change or anything like that is just going to be much tougher. You may be gaining weight, you may be losing weight, but if our overall health is not in a good spot, we're not going to see the body comp change that we want to see. That's why a lot of programs, maybe somebody gains some weight or maybe they lose weight, but they don't really see the change they want. So again, our body has to be in the right spot to change. And so again, our health is at the base of what we do because that's going to allow for more change in your physique. So I have 2 clients. So my client Jennifer came in, she was dealing with a lot of migraines and she just didn't feel recovered in her training. And really what it came down to is, again, she didn't have a lot of focus on these things: sleep, digestion, libido, mood, stress, blood markers, as well as strategic supplementation too to fill in some of the gaps here with that. And then my client Luke, I've shared him multiple times on my Instagram. He's somebody who has a lot of muscle, and I would definitely say he's more than an intermediate, or maybe around that intermediate. His physique, I would say, is advanced, but maybe the methods were intermediate. And we took him from intermediate to advanced by, again, focusing more on things outside of the gym versus just the training there. And he saw a good change in his physique, even though you look at his physique and be like, all right, he's in a good spot. I don't know what else he can do, but he had more muscle. He just looked fuller. And the most important thing is he felt better outside of the gym. So those are the three things we're trying to get. We want a physique that shows your hard work. We want to have the performance to perform in the gym, but also outside of the gym as well too. And then 3, we need the health side of things. So then that way you feel good in the gym and you feel good out of the gym. And that's also going to allow the first 2 things to actually happen there. So how do we get there? So I have the 5 pillars that I work on. You may have heard these before. Again, these outcomes aren't going to just happen from tracking macros or just training harder, right? They're going to happen because we use a complete systems-based approach around 5 core pillars. Okay. So the first pillar is going to be your training. Again, so this training is going to be customized, progressive, and built around your recovery. We have a game plan with your training. Again, this is going to be the training is going to be based on what you can commit to. And when we do an assessment of your body composition and your overall health, right? Could be a thing where, hey, your body composition, you need to add some muscle, right? So we need to be really focused on hypertrophy training. Or maybe it's like training's okay, you're missing a piece of the conditioning part, right? Or maybe you do some conditioning, but again, there's no structure with it. So again, the training is designed to build muscle strength and metabolic output without just unnecessary volume. So we're also going to get you there in a smart and efficient way. So you're going to be able to do less training, maybe do the same training. It just depends on all other things, but potentially less training, but we're going to get more efficient with our training. And again, this is all going to be based on where you're at. Pillar 2, strategic nutrition. Okay. So we're going to fuel for performance, body comp, and health. I'm not just going to throw a calorie deficit on everyone. I'm not just going to throw a maintenance at everyone. It just really depends on where you're at. But the big thing is we want to fuel for performance, body comp, and health. Our exact approach is going to depend on your body comp and your goals. So if you're a little bit more fat loss focused, maybe we are going to push a deficit. If you have higher body fat levels, maybe that deficit's a little bit larger. So again, this is going to be based on where you're currently at, what you've been doing, and how the exact approach we take in terms of the energy balance is going to be dependent on where you're at and where I feel based on our assessment, you need to go first. And again, just because you start at 1 doesn't mean you're going to stay there forever. But also with nutrition, we're going to make sure you're fueling for health, performance, and for body composition. We're not just going to fuel for a calorie deficit. We need to make sure that within that, you're eating the right foods, you're getting the micronutrients in that you need. And again, we do that through blood work if you have it, as well as when we base that off of supplementation, what supplements you need to take, and then also looking at your food log, right? Where there's some potential gaps in terms of your food log. So it isn't just, hey, here's calories and macros, follow these, you're good to go. We really need to look into training to make sure that it's fueling body comp, fueling your performance, and helping with your overall health. And then pillar 3 is going to be just overall movement. Okay. So a lot of programs I feel like lack it's just all about training and again, maybe macros, and then that's it. But again, we need to make sure that we are doing things outside of the gym to promote a healthy lifestyle, to help with performance, and to help with your body composition. And so again, looking at things like your needs, this could also just be movement that you enjoy, a sport that you play, or again, maybe you like to do a little bit more mobility type work or yoga. But again, the key thing is we're building a lifestyle around movement outside of the gym. And this is going to allow your body to really thrive. And you also can potentially be a little bit more flexible with your nutrition here. So again, we want you to get active outside the gym, and we build that lifestyle around that. And then pillar 4, again, this is one that's often overlooked, is lifestyle optimization. So again, we make sure that your sleep, stress, circadian rhythm, recovery habits, environment, everything like that is in line with all 3 of the things, right? Performance, body composition, and in overall health. And this is one where, again, most programs do not go over. Most body composition programs, body transformation programs do not go over this side of it. And this is a huge missing piece in everyone's program. And so we spend a lot of time here optimizing your lifestyle to set you up for body composition changes, overall health, and to be able to perform in and out of the gym. And then 5, mindset, helping you shift from all or nothing thinking to consistency and ownership. Again, taking control. Maybe you, again, don't have that growth mindset, whatever it may be. The mental side of things is key. I've seen many clients crush the first 4 pillars, but their mindset holds them back every single time. They get on track for a couple of weeks, one thing happens, and then they fall off track. We need to also work on our mindset And again, that's going to be something that's going to take you to the next level. Progress without perfection and the skills to maintain what you build. So not only are we building that mindset during, but this is also going to be long-term, and we're building skills to help you long-term as well too. And again, in our initial assessment, when we talk, when you fill out your assessment form, in our check-ins, I figure out which pillar needs the most work. So for some people, it's more nutrition, right? So we take my client Becky. For her, the big ones were strategic nutrition and lifestyle optimization. Luke, it was lifestyle optimization he needed, but also a little bit of nutrition, right? And then for some people, it is like they eat very well. Lifestyle's good, but maybe their training isn't geared towards what they're trying to do. So for them, we spend a little bit more time on that. Most people train enough. It's just we need to be more efficient there. Again, in our assessment, we're going to figure out what exactly you need there. So how it's delivered, a customized, periodized training plan built for your schedule and recovery needs. Again, conditioning. My program is built around conditioning and weights, but we can alter it a bit based on what exactly you need and what you also enjoy too, and understanding the potential trade-offs. So for example, my client Luke, we've done a lot of hypertrophy work. I've tried to get him to do more conditioning, doesn't always work, but now he's coming to this, hey, I want to do a little bit more quote unquote power building, athletic style training. So now we're shifting a little bit towards that. And then strategic nutrition coaching that adapts with your goals and biofeedback. So again, we're looking at your biofeedback, but I'm also focusing on all those things I talked about, but you get a strategic nutrition coaching around this. For most clients, I prefer some sort of tracking of calories, but we can also take an approach of just protein and just logging your food and then seeing where you can make improvements. Because this is one thing I've changed my mind on over time is calories are important, and that is going to be the thing that drives weight loss, weight gain, but we can put ourselves in better position to get in those energy balances that we want to get in by focusing on diet quality, how we set up our nutrition, etc. There is a time and place where maybe you won't have to do a ton of calorie tracking, but ideally seeing what you're eating can be super helpful. And then we have biofeedback tracking and adjustments. So this way we're not guessing when to push or back off, right? So again, we're looking at all those things that I talked about, tracking your resting heart rate, tracking your digestion, all those things. And that's going to help us make these adjustments that we need to make with your training. If biofeedback's poor, that means there's some sort of stress on the body. We need to figure out where we need to pull that stress from. And I have weekly check-ins, strategic support, and direct coaching from me throughout the week. So in that way, we can stay on top of these things. Really, I leave that up to the clients in terms of how in-depth they want to get on it. And then lastly, you get access to the Performance Recomp Academy education and community platform. So I'm always posting content in there. Already have a ton of resources in there in terms of everything from reps in reserve, how to train for that, how to make adjustments, how to set up your sleep, how to optimize your circadian health, blood pressure, the importance of that, and then really any other questions you have, and I'm continuing to add to that over time. And then the community platform. So you're also going to go through this with other clients, and that I have found that to be super helpful, right? People share recipes, things that work for them, things that don't. So it also is interactive as well too. So if you're someone who's been spinning your wheels despite training hard, right? So again, if you listen to this podcast, you probably enjoy training. You're tired of feeling like crap to see results. So if you're someone who feels like you always just need to push yourself, you need to go above and beyond, and in turn you feel like crap, but results, if that's you, again, this program's going to be for you. Maybe you're tired of eating 1,200 calories. I can't tell you how many times I hear people think they're going to change their body composition eating 1,200 calories all the time. And then they're scared to increase their calories because they're going to gain weight. So if that's you, this program is for you. And if you're just ready to take a smarter, more complete approach to how you train, eat, and recover, then the Performance Recomp Method was built for you. So again, I'm officially opening up a handful of spots this week. So if you want to apply, you can either shoot me a DM on Instagram, Jeff, Hoehn. You can click the apply for a phone call, a free strategy call to talk about this to see if it would work for you. So you can apply for it there. And those are the two places that you can reach out to me on. And again, if you DM me on Instagram, just make sure you DM me performance, and then we'll go from there. So that's it. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. Talk soon.